Hey everyone, it's Tracy and Sean, and guess what? We in the streets. We're here today with Family First. We're with DC, Brandon, and Lisette.
And we're gonna have a great conversation from the barbershop Family First that is part of our community that's been doing great things, and we want to bring it to your attention on what they're doing. They're doing more than just barbering, y'all. All right, so he cuts here for fun. Never imagine being a pillar in the community. So Brandon, just tell us what made you get started, and 30 years, in the 30 years, I know that you touched so many different lives, right? And I know basketball is your passion. So coming from there and how if you're in the salon, I mean the barbershop, barber grooming, you will see there's like so many different pictures about basketball. So tell us a little bit more about what you do, how you do it, what made you come to where you are now, how'd you get here, and go on from there.
Okay, well, I started young. I think I was in like third or fourth. I want to say fourth grade. I just mess it up. Oh, the mic. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I'm thinking I got that thing right here. Okay, so. No, I know I just started young, and, it was too many of us, so we couldn't get to the barbershop like that. So, you know what you're going to do. You're going to do it on your own. And then you started doing it, and I liked it. You know what I mean? So I got good at it and just started doing it. And then, it just turned into this.
Right.
Turned into this. And then we have him and her, and we all met. And this is a platonic thing. So as far as basketball is concerned, even nowadays, barbers, basketball, they coincide. So you want to look nice on the court.
Right.
A lot of people you don't want to look bad. We don't got helmets on, so you want to look nice on the court, and you just do your thing, and people love it, and you make people smile.
Mm-hmm.
So
you make people smile. Yeah, that's important.
Look good, you feel good.
Play good.
And play good.
Okay.
Then it turned into money.
Yeah. Right.
So tell us a little bit about the name Family First and how it came about.
Well, honestly, this guy right here came up with it. I don't know how he did. I don't know how he thought of it, but he wanted to change our identity. Like, I've been D's for a long time, and everybody knows D's, but when you have him come along, the other barbers, you have a new generation. So the newer kids didn't really know what D's was. So Donald was like, we should change it to Family First. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And not realizing that I already had a tattoo that said Family First on it, so we came together for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That was God.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's how the name came about.
Oh, that's great. So some of your inspiration, you just said, came from you growing up, and there being so many of you. Is that what made you, like, this is your passion? Like Sean said, you've been doing it for so many years, but is that part of your passion? Because we couldn't, as younger generation, get to the barbershop. The young men in your family couldn't get there, so you want to give back starting from then. Right.
That's exactly what it was. We couldn't get to the barbershop.
Yeah.
So we had to do our own. And then you just start doing it, and, you turned out to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you had to look nice, like I said. Yeah. Parents wasn't bringing us to the barbershop. Like, money wasn't plentiful like that. You know what I mean? So you had to do it on your own. And then, it wasn't about the money. And it's still not. Sometimes I'm cut here, and people just get up, and I forget to get paid.
Okay.
No, I really do. I forget to get paid, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So I know it ain't about the money. And when you do something that you love,
it's not a job anymore.
It's it's fun. It's not even about the money. But you do it good enough, the money comes.
Okay. DC, what got you into doing barbering, being a barber?
For me, it just started at an early age. Like I put it in the bio, but my mom was my barber first.
Okay.
Yeah, so her scraping my biscuit every day in the morning, and my friends teasing me like, "Yo, bro, your haircuts is too low." And, you go to school with those like, "Yo, you gotta get a different haircut." I think that's what started it for me. Where my mom was like, "You do it yourself, then go ahead and do it yourself." And I'm like, "I will." Yeah. And from there, I just was always in the bathroom, cutting my own hair and mastering my own canvas first before I did anybody else's. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got to the barbershop, I really didn't have any like errors or like bad haircuts because I already did it on myself for years, since 9 years old. So I messed my haircut up plenty of times to get better. You gotta master it. So at some point, for me, that's what it was. Just years of just mastering it by myself and familiar applied to other people.
And DC, guess what? You had the best barber. Your mom. They were jealous.
That's not the mom.
I didn't realize I had a haircut all the time. You know, so the haircut mad low. It's like, for real, you know.
They
Like,
was jealous.
They were jealous.
Wanted that haircut. What's that? Same question. What got you involved into being a barber?
So I was always into hair as a younger child. And I want to say, if I can remember correctly, if there was a time, well, I went to Cato Tech, the high school here in Waterbury.
Saudi Shine.
Yeah. So I took up hairdressing, barbering, and cosmetology at the time. So 2004, graduated in 2007. And I think at this time, I got my first pair of clippers. And my stepfather came home one time with a haircut, and he was just like, I'm so sick and tired of them giving me a mustache that I don't like. And, and it was just like, we called it like the Puerto Rican mustache. So the Puerto Rican mustache is a skinny mustache back in the day. But he didn't want his like that. He wanted a natural mustache. So one time he just asked me to cut his hair. And from there, I felt like I fell in love with it. And I happened to be around people in the neighborhood that would cut hair, So my mom was a very strict mother, which I'm very thankful for because, I feel like she protected me. You look back and you're just like, wow, you never know what your parents do for you. At the time, you're just like, oh, she's so strict or whatever. But because of that, it forced me to pay attention to a guy that lived next door that was cutting hair. So I was constantly watching until one day I was just like, I had the shot. I was like, it's my time, And I always felt like I wanted to be like the boys, I grew up with boys, nothing but brothers, nothing but cousins that were boys. And I always felt like anything you could do, I could do better. So
That's right. That's
I don't
right.
know.
That's right. Girl power.
So, but I say that because it just helped me to I like to be, like perfect my craft. So it's just like, I always felt like the men had that, it's something that you wanted to chase. You didn't want to be just like them, but you wanted to be in that competitive, in that same route, like, okay, I can be an equal as well, with still giving them their flowers. It's just like, like, I'm still a student at this. I'm never, I'm always going to master my craft, but I'm always going to be a student at the end of the day. So.
Nice.
Going back to her, because we didn't read their bios, but I love her bio because it says Lisette Barber.
Yeah.
H-E-R.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so like, don't underestimate me, right?
Yeah.
That's where I
always say, like, I put the her in barber. It's just like, barbering is considered a male-dominated world, but it's just like, okay, now I want to put the feminine touch to it. It's just like, it's a male-dominated world, but the girls can do it too.
Yes. That's awesome. One of the things too that all three of you have that in your bios is the confidence. First, the creativity. We already know that, right? It took a long time for somebody to say, you're an artist, because I'm alumni from Kenya and been doing it forever. And, when you think about that, it takes creativity, but you're all passionate about community. That was across the board in all three of your bios that I noticed, right? It's about community. And you guys are different, younger generation, because we're old enough to be your mama and your daddy. And
Not Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
Not Brandon.
It don't look like it, though. It don't look like it. That's why I stay young.
I ain't
Stay
taking
around
Brandon.
young people.
Give me my flowers.
Right, exactly. And so when thinking about that, and I said, this is another reason why we wanted to interview you guys and have you guys on and shine a different type of light on the disparities that they have about barbershops when it comes down to, not your barbershop, but how they have, stereotypes, barbershops and salons, right? But you guys take community to a different level. So talk about, and I'm gonna start from here all the way, right? Because you the young one.
So actually, DC is the younger one.
DC is the youngest. All right. So, so what I'm saying is, right? We're gonna start with the girl then. Put it that way. What you said you had the passion and wanted to perfect your craft and everything, but still, community was important to you. What does that mean, especially being here at Family First? What does that mean to you, and how do you give back?
I want to say it starts for me. It's like a branding thing. Like I love the fact. I remember one time it actually started off like going through a challenging time in my life. You know, I felt like I lost hope for years, and in these moments, there were times where I looked to people. You know, they say that sometimes the people at the bottom are the ones that are going to help you the most because they know what it is like to struggle. They know what it is to not want to be there, or you know, they don't want somebody to go through a situation like that. And I felt like through this community, I saw what they did for me in a time where I was at my lowest. And I always told myself, you know, I would want to give back in the same way that they gave back to me. So I feel like a lot of the times, so I moved to Puerto Rico for 4 years. And I wanted to get to know my culture. You know, I felt like I grew up very American. I didn't know what it's like to be Puerto Rican and anything like that. And I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about family, about culture. Which is crazy because, you know, I come into this establishment, it's talking about family first. And I'm just like, that's how I feel now. Like everything's about family first, you know, like how to give back. And so one time when I moved back, I never noticed growing up in the community. I grew up in the South End community. And it was such a wonderful release, a moment because people were just like, you're that barber, right? I'm just like, what do you mean? There's just like, you're known to be that barber girl here that cuts hair.
Nice.
And I was just like, what? Like, I was like, you guys don't even know me by my name, but you know that I'm the barber, you know? And they knew that I would give, you know, I give back to community. They knew that I would always give them a free haircut if they, you know, just like, it's like a free meal, you know? It's just like, I just want you to have a good day. I know how much a haircut can actually change your whole day, you know, your demeanor, how much your hair, you know, just somebody even just sitting down to listen to your day, you know. A lot of men I feel like when it comes to men, they're not vulnerable when they with other men to speak about their problems. But when a female, when a female, they will. And so one time I had that situation happen where I sat down and I told the guy, I'm just like, you know what, like, you're a family friend, I'll let you, he was like, how much for the haircut? So I told him I was like $40, whatever. He was like, okay, cool. So we're doing the haircut, and he's just like, can I have a drink? And I'm just like, sure, you know, like, you can do whatever you want to do. And in the haircut, we start talking. And so I'm estimating this. I'm just like, okay, it's a house cut. Normally this will take me an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. So it's going over the hour, 30 minutes. I'm just like, wow, this is taking a very long time. You know, I'm just like, I don't have anything to do, but if I did have anything to do, I don't know at this moment. So later on, we start talking more, and he starts crying in my chair. And I'm like, God, you know what I just came from. You know how much emotions, like, I'm just like, when it comes to emotions like death and things like that, I don't do well with it anymore. You know, I'm just like, grief is one of my toughest things to battle with. And so I had this moment. I'm just like, all I could do was listen. I'm just like, and I kept praying in those moments. I'm just like, this is a tough situation, but I'm just like, get me through it. There's a reason why I had to be here today. And after the whole haircut, he was just like, he ended up giving me $100 for the haircut. He was just like, just thank you for listening to me. And I was like, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is what it is. I'm just like, I just want men to, you know, I feel like my dad lost his life to mental health. You know, he never spoke about his problems. And I just want to be that person that is just like, here's your moment to, here's a safe place. You know, here's a moment that you guys can relax. You know, you're in my chair, you know, I'm here to cater to you, you know, worry free, you can do whatever it is, you know, like, in this moment, you know, you're going to be, once you leave this, your establishment, you're going to go back to anxieties, all the things that life throws at you. So I was just like, while you're here, you know, I just want you guys to relax and just be, you know, yourself, whatever it is that you want to do. So
that goes back to that goes back to her quote. It says, every client who sits in my chair deserves more than a cut. They deserve an experience that restores self-worth and brings out their best.
absolutely.
There you go.
Nice.
There you
Nice.
go.
Touching.
Very.
And I would say that comes from, you know, men putting their trust in me now. You know, I feel like I have a good team. I feel like there's so many people around me that lifts me up. You know, I was just like, there's men that just like, no, you know, you're stronger than that. You can keep doing it. You know, there's times I call the guys up. I'm like, I'm having a tough day. And they bring, you know, they bring life back into me. And I'm just like, I could only do that when there's people around me that are just pouring into my cup. And I'm just like, how can I pour that back, you know? So that's my biggest thing. I'm just like, family first again, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, DC, same question for you.
I mean, for me, just growing up in Waterbury, I wanted to come back. I had my daughter at 19. I lived in Bristol. So at the time, you know, living in Bristol, trying to find that route of barbering again. B's nephew, actually, I ran into him. And at the time, you know, B was having his shoulder taken care of at the time. So he needed extra help. And he said, hey, Don, come down and grab a chair. And I was like, well, I was like, I'm not ready. Like I said, I've been doing this since a kid, but I never really took it to a professional level or even cut in front of like an audience. Like it was just always like some one-on-one in the crib stuff. So for me, just to come back to Waterbury and, you know, for me, he was out up to be since a kid. So this is full circle. So now it's like I'm that person now, and I got all these kids now looking up to me, and you know it's 360. You know, so now it's like I always give him his flowers, and now these kids are like, no, you're the best, and I'm like, nah, we got to talk about this guy right here. You know, 30 years in the game, so you know, but this that right there, you know, just coming back to my city where I'm from. You know, I played basketball at half the kids out here. I went to 2 different high schools, so just us growing up in the same community. You know, they have kids now, so their kids go to me now, and it goes full circle. You know, so we get to talk about how me and your dad was in high school together, man. We were on the same team, and now I'm cutting his son. He's in high school playing for the same team. So, you know, just full circle, just loving our community and just giving back in many different ways, coaching, whatever it is. So, yeah.
All right, B.
Oh
No, B.
Very good.
Well, for me, for me, well, I'm just thinking back. Like, they didn't really respect barbers. Barbers were doctors back in the days. They did everything for the community, you know what I'm saying? So I just think a lot of people didn't respect what we do as barbers.
Right.
So just thinking back then, they did a lot for the community. So now, as I'm growing up, I'm watching Tiny. So when he was on Long Hill, going around the projects, cutting people here. And it really wasn't about, he was getting his money, but it really wasn't about the money. So he just, boom, going, cutting people here. I'm just like, because he's got my cousin Kissy, and he was the first person that gave me the 76s. I'll never forget. He gave me a shaving machine, everything. I was like, whoa, like the lather machine. So I'm like, wow, this is dope. So now I'm cutting hair, and I'm like, yeah, this is nice. And like I said before, it wasn't even about the money. So, but cutting hair just helped me through. I mean, like high school, college, and I just was like, wow, this is it gave me so much. And for me, like my last year in college, I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I had a counseling degree. And I'm thinking now I'm cutting hair, and I'm like, I don't even have a job counseling, but I'm thinking like I'm cutting these kids, and I'm talking to these kids, and I'm counseling these kids, and we're talking about family. I'm telling them how important their dad is, because I see a lot of moms bringing kids to the barbershop. And a lot of kids, they don't really, I can't not disrespect their mom, but they don't understand their value. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, don't talk to your mother like that. Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just educating them, and just doing that throughout the years. It's just like, it's fulfilling. You know what I mean? And then we do our back to school.
I was just about to say.
Back to school thing every year. It's like our 7, 8, we skip a couple years, but we're almost on 10. You know what I mean? So we do that. Give away a lot of stuff. Talk to the kids. We just do so many sponsor teams. We have a team now in the Bristol League that he came up with. So we sponsor teams for kids, and just try to do as much as we can for the community, because we got to give back. They supported us for so long, especially me. You know what I mean? Now he's understanding, like, wow, and she gets it. You know what I mean? You just have to give back, and they give to us. So I'm appreciative.
Nice.
So what do you kind of already touched on it, but how do you talk to the up and coming barber or barber that's out there? What are some of the suggestions that you have for them?
Well, honestly, I would say you just to love it. Don't think about the money.
I was gonna say that.
You know what I mean? Like, don't think about the money. Just like with anything, you gotta love it. If you love it, it won't feel like work.
Right.
and you'll get that much better at it, and then people will respect you more for it. And it's just, you gotta have passion for it.
Yeah.
You gotta have passion, because if you don't, it's not gonna be right.
Okay.
It's not gonna be right. So that's just it, basically.
Passion and discipline. Because, you know, you can have the passion, but it's just like if you don't have the discipline to come with it. Because we were just talking about that. It's like you could be a great barber, but if you're not showing up, if you're not doing anything, what's a great barber without, you know, the discipline behind it?
And that's anything, life.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hear myself practicing saying that too to the younger generation, kids, grandkids. Find something you love to do, not something that's gonna make you a lot of money. Everybody's running to these jobs. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a nurse. That's all well and good. But if you don't like what you're doing, it's
gonna
useless.
show.
You're gonna be mad every day
Mm-hmm.
going to work. You're not gonna like the people you work with. You're not gonna do a good job. So it's not about the money. And people are gonna say, "Oh, you older. You just saying that." Part of it, yeah, because I've learned it's not about the money at my age.
Right.
So I like that you guys are all on the same page with that. Do something you love.
Yes.
Definitely.
You gonna add to it?
I mean, he hit it right. Just fall in love with
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say. Just fall in love with the process, and from there, the results will show.
And I'm glad you said process.
Because it is a process.
Man,
Yes.
I'm glad you said process because I know me growing up in the hair industry, everybody's like dope in school, right? You're the best. Everybody, you know, when clients come in while you're in school, they want you. Till you get out there into the real world. And when you get out into the real world, like you were apprehensive in coming into a barbershop, right? But when you do, what do you say to those kids that they dope within their friends, but when they get into the real world, into the profession, it's going to take discipline. It's going to take a way, you know, you have to be coachable, right? You want to go under somebody that knows what they're doing so that you're learning as you're growing, you know. So what do you say to those kids out there that know they got it, and so they're like, I'm only going to do it here because I'm not going, they want all my money type thing, you know what I mean? What do you say?
That's a good question.
It is.
Wow. I feel like I don't deal with people like that. Because I love what I do. So it's just like I gotta surround myself around people who love it just as much, because if you have that attitude, you already failed. Like there's no, it already shows that you don't have it. I don't know.
But I'm saying, like, talking to a person that's in school right now, you know, talk to that person that's in school right now. Yeah, because a lot of times you go to school, you already have some talent. You got to have some kind of talent when you go into hairdressing or barbering anyway, right? Mm-hmm. And when you go in there and you're trying to learn the technical aspect, I know for me being black, if I went to a school right now, not knowing anything that I know now, first thing I'm saying is, they don't do no black hair. You know what I mean? I'm good with it.
I like that. So for me, you know, even for Bug, all of us learn differently, right? So when I first started barbering, there wasn't no YouTube. There wasn't no, you know, look on your phone,
TikTok,
and Instagram, take notes. So I had to go to the barbershop and learn from living examples. So nowadays, you got YouTube, you have TikTok, you have all these social platforms that you can literally say, you know what? Even if your shop didn't have they're gonna teach you this type of hair, you can just type that in. I want to learn how to cut coarse hair, fading it, or whatever you want to do. There's so many shortcuts of just learning it now, and you can master this really quick now. And I grew up with, you know, the wire clippers coming in the barbershop, but then when I started with B, they started coming out with the wireless. So when I came in the shop, they were like, "What's those?" I'm like, "Yeah, these the gold, the cheap wireless." They were like, "Word, I never." So just loving the process, just learning the tools, loving the tools, learning just how everything works. Just learn, just love the process. Like I said, that's the best thing I could say. Love the process, and you'll love every detail of it. You'll love that you went from wire clippers to wireless. You'll go from, you know, we doing, you know, enhancement now. We're doing facials now. We're doing, so these are little details that make us love the process even more. And for the ones that's coming up, just enjoy the process. Just enjoy it. Don't cheat it. Enjoy it and learn everything. Learn everything.
I would say too, like, take classes. You know, I feel like I got better because I took different types of classes. So the art classes, you know, I would go do paint and sip, you know, like paint and wine. What that teaches you is how to blend contrast at times. You know, people don't realize that little certain things like that can help you see visions, you know, your contrast and your haircuts for your fades better and stuff like that. Or just when we're designing, it's like you're learning that, you're trying to implement that with the hair world. And then I feel like, take school serious, you know, like back then people just go in, cause I went to hairdressing. So I remember my teacher, she was very tough on me. And I always say, I'm so thankful that she was tough on me because she saw something in me that I didn't see. And because of that, I excelled very quickly with her. You know, like I was in hairdressing and I told her my sophomore year, I was just like, I want to do barbering. She was like, we don't offer that. But she was just like, if you want to do it, she was like, I'll support it. And they definitely supported it. And I brought that into the curriculum in 2005. So now there was boys that have started to go into the hairdressing field because barbering started to be introduced into it. So I was just like, and you know, talking to friends of mine, they're just like, there's a guy who's just like, you know, I got into this barbering field because of you. And I was just like, honest. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. He's like, I love your setup. You know, I used to have in my living room, I was a big Eagles fan, so I hooked it up with all these Eagles things, whatever. And I would have the guys come after work. You know, I was just like, you know, I always wanted to cut hair and stuff like that. And now I'm hearing people just like, oh, like you're the reason why I became a barber. I was just like, I never thought that I was something like that. That men and women, you know, they wanted to be a barber because of me. And I'm just like, you know, to hear that, I'm just like, you know, who else can I inspire? Like, or who else did I inspire? You know, but it makes you feel good because, again, you never know who you are until sometimes when you leave. You know, like I left Waterbury for so many years, and you're coming back. And everybody's like, we're giving you your flowers. Like, you're the most known barber here. Like, no, you know, there's no other girls that's done the things that you've done and stuff like that. I was like, I've never realized I've had a name like that, you know. I was like, I knew I was good, you know, that for sure, but I just never knew.
No, that's awesome. Follow your dreams, definitely. Don't let anybody ever tell you can't.
Can't do anything.
Yes, you can. And come on,
and not be afraid to, you know, again, like, set yourself differently to other people. You know, I was just like, I'm a hairdresser before I was a barber. So it's like, I put both worlds, and I feel like it works for me because I see different things, you know, and I feel like it just, you get best of both worlds in those moments and stuff like that.
So, cameraman has a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was lucky enough to grow up with both my barbers right here. So my mom cut my hair from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And then I went to Tiny, I went to Brandon, good chunk at the time. And then there was a time where they were right across the hall from each other. So I got to experience both. I got to experience both the salon environment and the barbershop environment. So I want to just ask you this silly question. How do you feel the environments are in the media? Like, how do you think it's portrayed well in like movies and TV and things like that? And do you have to add a little extra silliness, do you have a favorite barber scene from a movie or TV show?
Let's answer that first.
Barbershop.
Now, I knew that one was coming.
Barbershop, and also Queen Latifah had a nice
beauty show.
So I think the depiction on TV really shows what the barbering's like in the inner city or in black communities. I don't know like
anywhere else,
but you know they depict actually what really goes on, and you can't like they hit, man, they hit, and I just love it. But one thing I gotta say about they don't really respect barbering.
They didn't respect it.
They don't, but no, they really, because you know in the book it was chapter 7 and it was 3 pages, and I'll never forget it about barbering. Yeah. So
3?
It's up us to make people respect it.
Yeah,
and they are doing it more so now than they've done in the past. So I just want to shed that light.
Do you guys have rowdy customers? Like, do you have?
We have all kinds of customers. Rowdy,
really
disrespectful,
put out of here.
Smart.
We just had an incident.
Well, we had on the telephone, a texting incident. But yeah, we get all kinds of customers. I mean, most of the time we get nice customers. But and then you got the demanding, the people that don't understand customers.
Okay.
Like,
so you get the same thing that she would get at a hair salon.
Same thing.
You'll get the same. I'm just thinking because men are in here, they come in a little bit more refined and
A
having
little
together.
uneasy sometimes.
Nobody plays about their hair.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say that.
I mean, you might not come once a week, or you might come, whenever you come. But when you do come, you don't play.
No.
Right.
You want
You want that canvas to look great. So.
Okay.
You definitely want that haircut.
I'm gonna tell you from experience, being around them and being in here when I come in here, because I'm a mama bear anyway. When I walk in the door, like,
And we
hey, y'all,
respect that,
right,
yes.
right. But what I do notice, and maybe because I come early in the week, I don't come on the weekend when it's packed, but it's never been uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because that was one of the things, even with my salon, is like, I'm not playing. Even when y'all were across the hall,
Right.
we had mutual respect, and your clients had mutual respect. And so when you create an environment for that, they don't have no choice but to act right. You might get one or two, but it's very far and few in between. Far and few in between. So that's another reason why we gotta shine a light on you.
And you want to feel like you're welcome. Walking
All the
into
time.
Absolutely.
And like sometimes we change the music like quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Respect.
sometimes we in the zone and we're like,
right.
change the music. So
it's teamwork. Hey.
yeah. So we have to do that.
Yeah.
Nice. This is nice. This is.
Good
I like this in the streets interview.
Yeah, we
Yes,
forgot.
yes.
Next time bring the tea and the cornbread.
We ain't have to tell everybody we ain't had it though.
Right. How about that?
Just put us on blast.
It's all right. It's all right. We got
I really
you
want the
next
pumpkin
time.
squares. I really want the pumpkin.
Really want the
Listen,
pumpkin
what we
squares.
hear.
Yes, you are.
Noted.
Right.
Noted. So
I noticed.
when we do, when you guys do, tell us about your back to school. When does it happen? Well, back to school, evidently, right? Do you only do back to school? I thought you did something during the holidays.
No,
too.
we do all kind of giveaways. We
Okay.
just when we got it, we gave it away. We just
Right.
had a costume thing. Nobody really came.
How do you get to
Well-
the people though? How do the people know you got it?
Social media,
Okay.
and then we post stuff. So
So talk about the costume thing that you just said.
well, we just
So
had
Halloween
a costume
next
below, and really wasn't a heavy response. So I don't know, maybe next year. It's still not too late.
It's
I was
not.
going to say,
So
well,
it's
tell
not
us about it because I'm thinking maybe you did it too early.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But we get this guy comes in and he displays it, and we just do the same thing, and hopefully some people gravitate to it. But I don't think a lot of people did just yet.
Okay, so we got to figure out how to get
Spread
y'all.
the word. Yeah.
you know, even like
Tag
Maybe
us
like
and
live,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's what
right.
I'm saying. Live in
I
the
like those
street
t-shirts.
before we.
Oh,
We
wow.
got
We-
you.
yeah.
We got you. We got you.
Bad.
You know,
Real bad.
we're a growing house.
Yes, we are. We are.
We're growing.
Stick with us. We got y'all next time. We got
Yeah.
y'all next time.
But we got you.
Yeah.
Right on that.
Yes. But so I'm gonna thank you all for
Yes.
your time because
Well,
I know
thanks for
you
having
all.
us.
Oh, wait. Before we get out, tell us
Okay, I'm
how
sorry.
people can reach you
Yes.
and what your hours that you guys are here.
Hours of operation.
Okay, so we're here Tuesday through Saturday. I want to say 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, DC the Barber. Also, I have a brand called Uncle Silk too. I sell do-rags and bonnets. So
Okay,
also check
hold
that out
on.
too.
Okay, Uncle Silk. Okay, Uncle Silk.
Stop
One more time.
Uncle Silk.
Sorry, I do sell bonnets, do-rags, beard oils, and not just giving them a haircut. You got to give them an experience to the leaves to maintain it. So
Yes.
that's part of my package.
Look,
So-
and check the waves, y'all. Check the waves.
Hey.
Check the waves.
I'm gonna zoom in on those.
Yeah, with the do-rag, check the waves.
509 Frost Road. That's what you need to know. And we are on Instagram, Facebook. Also, clothing line coming out. Just
Okay.
me. That's
We'll
what
talk
it is.
about it. All right.
Yes,
All
hats,
right.
shirts, etc. And back to bye.
Top it off.
So
Lisette.
mine is Barbher, 4 underscores, Barbher underscore 4 underscores after that. And myself as well, I've been trying to put out a brand for females and males that, so they can be happy to, again, be a female in the industry and stuff like that. So we're working on that for the summertime. And I'm just here to support my guys, I just want them, I just said we're like the young money in this industry, the team. It's just like Nicki Minaj, we got Drake, we got Lil Wayne.
Nicki Minaj.
She said.
Big.
When I say that,
She said young money. That's part of the deal.
Now,
Not waiting.
no, we just, just kidding. it, but you know, we're just saying that we do want to promote that we come as a team. You know, anytime anybody comes into the shop, they know they're gonna have a good haircut and things like that.
Exactly.
So, and I just want to tell my team that I'm very thankful for them opening up the doors for me and allowing me to be here.
We appreciate you as well, my girl.
We appreciate you guys for having us here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So we will be back.
Definitely.
All right. And we will check y'all out
Can't wait for
on
the
the
next
different things that's happening, right?
We'll definitely
Don't be afraid to say,
We'll have
Sean,
some for you,
listen,
too.
we got something
Team
else going on.
Cornbread.
Could we be on Team Cornbread? Y'all got
Yeah.
an open door, right?
Well, actually, we'll do that.
And you could,
Yep.
You can either come back here, y'all can come in the studio,
Right.
whatever way y'all want to do it. Because this is about community. This is about
Definitely.
community and letting people know that, you know, it goes beyond what they call it. They used to say, the dirty water.
We ain't
nothing
saying
dirty
that.
about
We ain't
water.
saying that.
Ain't nothing dirty about water.
You're gonna sit in our chair.
Right. Exactly. All right. Thank you. This is Tea and Cornbread. We are out. Subscribe, like, and share.
All right.